my note cards. Good afternoon. My name is Brooke Manning. Thank you all for being here today. Today we have with us Karen, Kristen, Sonia, Bob, and Patrick. I would like to convince you about why embryonic stem cell research should be legalized and supported through persuasive speech. Did you know age-related macular degeneration is the leading cause of vision loss, affecting more than 10 million Americans? What if I told you there might be a way to cure macular degeneration? I'd like to share a brief story with you about a 52-year-old woman by the name of Marie Hill that was diagnosed with Stargardt disease, which caused her to rapidly lose her vision. This disease is very similar to age-related macular degeneration. It is different in that it is inherited. Marie discovered a clinical trial and opted to participate. The Wills Eye Institute ophthalmologist, Carl Rogelio, injected 100,000 retinal pigment epithelial cells that were derived from embryonic stem cells in efforts to stop the progression of the disease and restore some vision. Now, what if I said that there was a way to cure many incurable diseases? But before I talk about that, I'd like to formally introduce myself. So as you know, my name is Brooke Manning, and through the extensive amount of research that I have done on this topic, my major in biochemistry, I've learned lots of information about cells in lectures, readings, and labs. In my biology lab last semester, I was fortunate enough to work with human leukemia cells, or otherwise known as HL60 cells. For example, I ran an experiment with a chemical known as resveratrol, which is commonly found in several plants, to induce cell death of HL60 cells. Now that we know a little bit more about me, I'd like to state my thesis. Embryonic stem cell research should be used for research because they may reveal the causes of disease and allow for effective therapies and treatments, especially for those illnesses without any cures. Therefore, it should be legalized in all the states and supported by the government for the advancement of the human race. We owe it to mankind to take reasonable measures to find ways to extend and improve the quality of lives. First, I will address the issue with embryonic stem cell research. I will then present a solution to these issues. I will then explain some of the benefits to embryonic stem cell research, and finally, I will discuss some ways of how you can help and become involved. Embryonic stem cell research should be legal in every state because the benefits and applications outweigh the ethical risk and controversy for the betterment of others. According to the International Society for Stem Cell Research website, they claim that the best defined and most extensively used stem cell treatment is hematopoietic, or blood stem cell transplantation. For example, bone marrow transplantation, to treat certain blood and immune system disorders, or to rebuild the blood system after treatments for some kinds of cancer. In addition, federal funding and private investors need to be increased in order to advance embryonic stem cell research. As stated in the Center for American Progress website, provides information regarding the Nation Institutes of Health for the funding of stem cell research with a statistic image. It is evident that embryonic stem cell funds are significantly lacking when compared to the non-embryonic. In my opinion, by increasing the resources for embryonic stem cell research and eliminating many of the restrictions, it would allow the medical field to significantly produce more results for cures with the use of embryonic stem cells. So let's review what some of the solutions to this problem are. The most important thing we can do in order to promote embryonic stem cell research is by first educating ourselves, contacting our local representatives and legislators, and donating to companies such as the California Institute for Regenerative Medicine or the International Society for Stem Cell Research. In order to legalize stem cells research in states that prohibit it, we must first understand the process of how a law is made. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics website, they describe how a bill becomes a law at the state level. The process begins with a person recommending that the law should be proposed to their legislator. The legislator then drafts the bill and introduces it to the committee. The bill is then passed to the floor for consideration. If successful, it's sent to another chamber for review and then sent to the governor. The governor can then veto the bill or make it become law. After understanding this process, we can now move forward with proposing bills for embryonic stem cell research. To solve the lack of funding for embryonic stem cell research, our society should sponsor fundraisers or donate to organizations such as the International Society for Stem Cell Research. As stated on the website about donations, the International Society for Stem Cell Research, ISSCR, is the world's leading society supporting researchers, medical doctors, and professionals involved in stem cell research and its clinical translation. Your donation to ISSCR helps close the gap between research and reality of immune therapies. By getting involved with donations and fundraisers, embryonic stem cell research will progress and provide more resources to patients and researchers. I believe that our society should congregate to propose a bill for embryonic stem cell regulations and get involved with helping fund the research for the advancement of stem cell treatments. Now that we know some ways we can solve this issue, I'd like to take a closer look at what would happen if this plan was implemented. With less restrictions and more funding for embryonic stem cell research, researchers would be able to concentrate on making cures and medical breakthroughs. Furthermore, the people who are currently affected with deadly diseases and injuries could receive effective treatments. Additionally, scientists could produce more efficient drugs and possibly eliminate the need for animal experimentation. I'm convinced that embryonic stem cells have high potentials for resolving many of society's medical issues. Now that we are aware of the issue and solution, I would like to redress some of my previous statements. By legalizing and increasing the resources available for embryonic stem cell research, we can achieve the following: cure physical impairments, further treatment possibilities, and possibly eliminate animal experimentation. Embryonic stem cells should be used for research because they may reveal the causes of diseases and allow for effective therapies and treatments, especially for those illnesses without any cures. Therefore, it should be legalized in all the states and supported by the government for the advancement of the human race. Therefore, if you're wondering how you can help, I would suggest by spreading this information to others or contacting legislators or local representatives and donating to stem cell research facilities.